y-axis is now positive, then 0.2 is almost insignificant. So we now trace it where the two meet. We now mark a steris to locate the position of that point. Then we go back to the table. The next figure for x is minus 0.5, and for y is 0.18. Then you go to the graph and trace minus 0.1 for 0.5 for s. Then when you get minus 0.5 for s, you will now get the 0.18 for y, which is positive upward. Then you mark a steris where to locate the position of that point. Then the next item is 0 for x and 0 for y. There you mark a steris. Then the next figure for x is 0.5, and for y is minus 0.18. Then you go to the graph and locate the position of that point for 0.5 and minus 0.18 and mark asterisk. Since the y is negative, then the graph is now going down worse. Then you go back to the table and get the next item for s, which is 1, and the next item for y, which is minus 0.2. You now come back to the graph and trace the location of s, which is 1, and the location of minus 0.2 is downwards. That's the negative part of where y-axis. Then you now locate the position of that point there and mark asterisk. Then the next item for figure for x is 1.5, and for y is 0.08. Then you now trace 1.5 along the horizontal axis of x and trace the 0.05, which is almost insignificant, and now locate the position of that point there and mark asterisk. Then the next figure for x is 2 and y is 0.8. You now trace the 2 and you now find the 2 position of 2 and trace it upward. Since they are now positive x and positive y, you now trace 0.8 upwards at x, where s is 2 and y is 0.8. Where the 2 meet, you now mark asterisk to get the location of that point. Then another item there for x is 2.5, and for y is 2.1. You trace the location of s, which is 2.5, on the horizontal axis upwards. And now for the y-axis, we now trace 2.1 along the vertical axis rightwards. Where the two intersect is the location of that point. You mark a series. The next point is the next figure. We now go to the table. The next figure there is for s is 3, and under it is 4.2 for y. Then we now trace 3 along the horizontal axis upwards and trace 4.2 along the vertical axis rightwards. Where the two intersect is the location of that point. You now mark asterisk. Then you can now use your French curve to draw, or you use a broomstick or any flexible object that you can hold to trace this and join all the points to get a very fine curve. Now for the table y equals to 2x over 5, we now plot a graph. Since we have substituted x into the y to get our y, when x is minus 2, our y is minus 0.8. Then you mark a series here. When x is plus 2, our y is plus 0.8. We mark a series. Then we have a straight line cutting the two curves. Then you now have a curve of what? With this curve, we will now be able to answer all the questions that we are being asked. So we are asked from the graph to write down the solution of the equation s bracket x squared minus 2 equals to 2x. Then since the intersection of the graphs where the straight line graph meet is minus 2 and 2, then this will not be the answer. So the s value of the point of intersection of the line with the graph y equals to 1 over 5x bracket x squared minus 2. Then for the next question, we are asked to get the graph. You should, from the graph, find the gradient of the curve y equals to 1 over 5x bracket x squared minus 2 at the point s equals to 2. So at the point where s is equals to 2, we have to draw a very thin tangential line, that is a straight line touching the curve of that graph at the point 2. Then we now draw our rectangle triangle to get ABC. From this tangent, we now find our gradient, which is BC over AB. Our BC is 1.8 and our AB is 0.9. If you do our calculation, we now get 2 as our gradient. Question 5. Sketch the graph of y equals to 3x bracket 4 minus x for values of s ranging from minus 2 to plus 6. On the same graph, draw the line y equals to 5 bracket x minus 2. Use a scale of 1 cm to represent 1 unit along the x-axis. From your graph, A, find the root of the equation 3x bracket 4 minus s equals to 0. B, write down the maximum value of y equals to 3x bracket 4 minus s within the given range. C, write down the equation of the axis of symmetry of the curve y equals to 3x bracket 4 minus x. D, deduce the roots of the equation 3x bracket 4 minus s equals to 5 bracket s minus 2.